Dire team pick.
He's, I think, been consistently. All into that man's mind. All into that man's mind. I was like, wow, Mike's got sick table manners.
You know, it's a strong start.
You know what?
With a sloppy finish.
It's like Mike saw it on a movie, and he's like, ah, that's what people do with their tablecloth.
That's how it goes.
All into that man's mind. I've heard about that from his complexity tapes. Oh, so Keen take Dusa here, which I guess is one of those situations like if you get doomed, you just stand there. Right? That's the only the best table matters.
You know,
against the ones that get doomed, you just kind of
you know,
chill.
it's a sloppy finish.
The ones that like don't care. That's why Razor, for example, if you have doom, or you have inclinations of picking doom, you're naturally going to get rid of it. Also, the anti-mage ban, which I don't actually think is that unplayable for Dusa anymore. The last two Dusa games that I've seen versus Aeon, Dusa actually won. I've heard about that from his complexity. Oh, so Keen takes
Oh
Zeus
boy, I don't know.
I guess it's one of those
coming back
situations like
better. And obviously we have the Grimstroke Doom combination here.
The best heroes
Yes.
It's good with Bane as well. Very strong with Bane.
A lot of single ones that like kill
I just like I don't feel the hero's strength by himself, and that feels pretty important when
you're actually going to get rid of it.
in an era that we're
Also,
still
the
doing a lot of
Inclination
dual
ban,
lanes,
which I don't actually think is that unplayable.
solo
unplayable
performance
for
as a
anymore.
support is
The last
pretty
two Dusa
important.
games
I think
that
it's hard for
I've
Grimstroke
played
to hit
on
the levels he needs to actually be effective. Because the
Keen
problem
takes
is that you want to have 3 levels of your damage breaks because you want that extra hit on the side. Really important. I think it's very important. It's good with Bane as well. Well, you're going to get at least 1 level of mages do like I don't feel like still like it's garbage ability, so it's still tier garbage. It's part of your toolkit in an era that's still doing a lot of fan lanes. But then you need your Stroke of Fate to actually how many damage to support.
I think the reason that you take it actually on is that when you pick Bane, you have to support that literally can't do this. You need somebody to like clear away from and so because you want that probably for me anyways like the combo sort of makes sense because you need something like a little bit greedier that can push out waves.
Well, you're going to get at least 1 level of
Doom has that problem too. It's not easy for him to flash and so if you're ever behind with a lineup that has like Doom Bane and you pick a third single force or single tank support, it's really hard to do anything against the take it. Plus I think when you pick Bane, it's just like it feels good as a literally finisher. You need somebody to like clear away from
because you want that extra
for me, if I was East Coast, like, if I was looking for mid something like a little bit later, I would take something like just like bites. You have 2 cores that are already absolutely like 4 flashing waves better. And so if you go with the fact that like with a lineup that like 2 bases, you could get storming and single side, because there's not, aside before the shaman or whatever, it does okay.
Is the new Storm Spirit that feels good enough for you? Because like when you said something about I'm thinking like, yeah, I agree. Let's go Puck, Lena, Monkey King, like those kind of heroes. Do you think Storm Spirit fits into that argument?
I would take something like yeah, because I think that you just really need to you have 2 cores that are they better so if you go with the fact that like I could be okay if I was East Coast like picking one single side. There's like some hero that like you play you'd have to play like mid one where you hit some levels, you go to the your off lane and just immediately gain the enemy safely. Like will face off room types.
Do you think that the new matchup of Monkey King versus Dusa is still playable? The fact that you got the damage but you still get your mana stolen, like that mana to your turn goes to the Medusa, she's able to spam it even more. Like it definitely hurts the matchup a lot.
Like you play you'd have to play like
once you get past the lane phase, Monkey King starts feeling really good because he's a blade hero. Against Dusa, you get on top of her with the enemy safely. Do you think that the matchup
go in for the spectator like crazy?
Yes,
that's why I personally like MK or Storm.
Do you not land into your turn? Goes to the Medusa, she's able to spam it even more.
Flop I think is too different. And I think the matchup against Medusa is kind of annoying. I feel like you need something here like Lena's not bad because it's really good, can sit down and when Medusa goes to you get the tower on something.
Yeah, so like
she needs Medusa, she eventually doesn't go in for, she's just going to go at like level 7 crazy hit jump. And so you want something here that actually play or almost takes the tower. And Lena actually is very good at that.
There's still another hero, Ember, but I think that matchup really like bad.
And I think the matchup is Lena feels good here, I think because of that reason. Because when Dusa goes to sit down, go hard out, when Dusa goes, you can actually like take her to tier 1 tower. And like I said, you need a fast paced hero on this game. I thought it was like good about Dusa eventually doesn't go into the hero's going to go at like level 7. She's one of the few in heroes that doesn't care about that.
Yeah, because is Medusa actually going to be mid or is that a track?
I think it's the last track that has Medusa mid, and I think
Lena feels good here, I think because of that reason. Because when Dusa
Or Leshrac safe lane, or Leshrac mid. They can swap it about. Although you probably...
I think Husk Lesh as a lane feels better than Lesh Shaman, because then your lane is paper. I think.
All right, gentlemen.
I agree with that.
Coming into this matchup, we didn't really get to talk too much about how we thought things were going to go down, but I think yesterday showed that Beast Coast can definitely hold their own. They have a good shot here. They are coming in as the underdogs on paper, but did they redeem themselves in the draft? How do you feel this game is going to go down?
I like Beast Coast's draft, but not so much that I'm going to side with them. I like Keen Gaming overall in the series. I think they're a very strong team. I had them winning over Team Liquid. I'm going to keep my faith in them here and there.
All right.
I think that Beast Coast is the worst team, but I actually think their draft can do it. Like, I think that they don't have the problem of multiple Doom targets. I think any of these Doom targets are above average. I think if you get rid of E, you're going to take care of most of the damage that's dealt out. I think as long as Envy has a pretty stable game, it's going to be pretty easy for him to carry this one. I will go with the boys, Beast Coast.
All right. Very evenly split panel here for the first series of the day. Let's find out what's going to happen here in game 1 of this best-of-3 series. Keep in mind, nobody gets eliminated in the group stages. If you lose... So one's round 1 of the lower bracket playoffs. So let's see what's going to happen here, and let's head over to your commentary team of Grant and Bob.
Prepare for battle.
And thank you very much, Sheever and the other two. And I'm here joined by...
"30 seconds to battle."
Stroke on Beast Coast. They've picked it, I think, what, at least 3 out of the 4 of the games they've played. Let's see. Looks a bit greedy on the side of Beast Coast, and keen with their Dusa. They've been really, really strong with this hero.
And the hero, right?
Because they have the Lesh also playing as a safe lane too, right, on Old Chicken. So it's a little bit of a change up too.
It feels like, right? We've seen this, right? Medusas don't need to go to the late game. I think most Medusa games actually like ended by the 20-25 minute mark. You're just like pushing up a hill. I think you're right. It seems really greedy from what Beast Coast is doing, but hey, they almost beat VP. It's worked for them so far.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if they can make it to this game, if they can make it late game, if they're not like super far behind, right? You're liking their lineup. I mean, they've got Spectre, they've got Doom, they've got the Grimstroke combo with it as well. And you can look, like, it's really going to be the Dusa versus the world once it gets to later stages. Sure, Darkseer, Wall, sometimes you can factor that one in, but yeah, it can get hard for the Dusa, but I think, yeah, what we're saying, Keen, they could just hit that timing where they get like their Greaves, their Pipe on the Darkseer, and the game can just end like that 25 with an Aegis on Dusa.
Yeah. See, you saw middle there, Mike. He's chilling, but a good call. Not sending that chicken out. If you don't see somebody, especially a Bane, do not send that chicken out.
Yeah, they're running an aggro tri-lane, and they're like, this Doom is, he's alone top as...
Uh-oh, he gets gone on it. It looks like he's just getting a tag team shackled up, right-clicked. Should be a kill, and it is. And that is a lot of stuns and disables in this top lane. I'm not even sure if Mike's going to be able to help that much, it feels like. They do take a lot of damage, though, under the tower. That's all their regen. And then that middle lane, Rioya. versus Yi, who wins this matchup early? Does Medusa just snake and win this lane too, or can the Lina do stuff?
I think Lina's actually one of the few, I think Blitz was saying it too, Lina's one of the few that does okay as a ranged hero. Mike, up top, tag team, we see 3 heroes hitting on it. Yeah, more than enough.
This is just gonna be, as we said, even at this 2v3 lane, like, I don't know how anyone farms. This is gonna be so rough, and yeah, they have to put the Grimstroke up there, which, as Cap said, you need levels on that hero, right? You used to play it a bit.
Yeah, you definitely need levels on that here, and also now you're putting your Spectre in a 1v1 versus a Darkseer. So old 11, as soon as he hits level 3, Envy's gonna get bullied. They're gonna have to help this Darkseer, or this Spectre, or just swap lanes. And again, I mean, top, this time they get the kill for
It was just
these
tier 2 suicide.
Oh, it's suicide.
Yeah, he just didn't want to wait. He's like, 118 gold price, you can have it.
Okay.
You get more than that in your level 15 tap.
Yeah, what, it's a 20-second window, right? After you get hit in order to suicide if you don't want to actually give the gold to one.
And he only gave, what, 118? Like, what's your thoughts on that? Do you like giving the gold? Well, heads up, they might find Kaka here. It doesn't look like they can.
I think, I mean, it's just so worth it, right? You show back up within 5 seconds with full health, full mana, whatever. They get 100 gold, but what are they going to really do with it in the lane?
Yeah, and you see the Leshrac 10-1, Brax 7-0. Of course, he has that Devour, so he'll be able to keep up. Doom always catches up. That's the one thing. Like, he might struggle, but he'll always catch up.
That is for sure, and it's actually pretty cool to point out that, like, that deep ward they place. I know it's like been there already for about 3 minutes, but Keen just wanting to run this aggro tri lane and wanting to know what they're playing against. So this ward actually gives them all information for them to make that lane decision, which I think is pretty damn clever.
In middle, the scan is there. Nice job by Ryoya seeing that Invisrin picked up by the Tusk, but scan's right on top. He's like, wait a minute, something's going on, because nobody's actually here.
Ryoya's been doing really well in all his mid matchups in this tournament so far. I mean, look at him, he's 15-4 versus the 9-3 Adeuce. Lina, since you have that high range, you know, more than most range heroes, you have that little bit extra as that 670, you actually can distance yourself pretty easily from that snake. And you always have the nuke too, and you can just poke to harass, so that's what you see how well he's doing in this matchup right now. And, I mean, bottom Envy's not doing too shabby either versus this Dark.
Yeah, 10-3, 16-2. As long as you're getting farm, right? I think as long as you're always going to get out farmed by this guy. Do you think, ooh, top lane, they're going to go in again, though. Grimstroke, oh my goodness. So squishy, goes down Brax. Going to try to chase down. They go for the Ice Shard block. Doesn't look like it'll make it, but Dark, he's going to try to run away, but Brax taking so much damage. We'll just have to back out. Mike, done some right clicks here. TB immediately from this Grimstroke. Still only level 2. Stun will miss, and looks like we'll chill out a little bit, man. Tri-lane versus tri-lane. It's been a bit since we've seen one. I don't think we saw one yesterday. They're going in again. Mike trying to tank it up. They're going to go for him on that Tusk. Will they be able to bring him down? No, Brax goes down first. They will be able to keep the Tusk, but uh-oh, here we go. Mike goes down as well. TMT, he really wants a solo kill. He needs some levels. Looks like he will get it. Gets to level 3, and it's a 2-for-2 bloodbath up here.
I'm surprised the Beast Coast getting this many kills, right? Like, their tri-lane is just not really that strong, but they have this Satyr creep on Brax, which is actually helping them quite a bit. Just a little bit of extra regen and everything like that. It actually allows them to be able to go for these plays more than I thought they would have been able to versus a tag team tri-lane.
We see. Well, what build do you want to go in a tri-lane? Like a carry Leshrac? Do you do, is it just Edict it looks like he's doing?
I mean, it looks like, yeah, it's just what it looks like. I think the mid lane's the only one where you see the 2-0-2, and then they go, I think, like 2 points in Edict, and then they get ult. It's like complete, like, randomly whatever you feel you need in the game.
Uh-oh, once again, they're going to go in. Just trying to run away, but the Inkswell will stun him up. Yeah, Dark in a little bit of trouble. Brax is in more trouble, though. One more right click will fly. He dives to the neutral creep, and now Dark will go down as well. Old Chicken, I don't think they have the spells to bring him down, and they will. They'll just harass him as his bottle. But yeah, Beast Coast, they're doing nice, and the deny that's when you're like, you know what? I do not mind dying to the neutral creep.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, and look at Envy in bottom too. He's 20-5. I'm actually really surprised how well he's doing. He's got the Soul Ring, this double mango. Just doing a great job of just kiting around the Ion Shell a lot. Yeah, there's a couple creeps here at the tower, which I'm sad, but that's okay.
He gets the range creeps at least. That's all that matters. Whatever. Melee creeps, who cares? But that is going to be, looks like
4 bounties.
3. Yeah, but no, the bottle. The bottle always confuses me. I'm like, they got 8 runes? Oh my goodness, they're good. You see that? Yep, already. That's crazy. 500 gold advantage from bounty runes at 5 minutes in.
Yep.
Close that up, man. Yeah, that's why you see so many teams just take these fights around them now. Up top, they're just waiting. The Tusk trying to stop this pull. Doesn't look like he can, though. And middle is actually 25-14 versus 19-10, so Ryoya doing a very good job there.
Both continuing.
They're just farming, right?
Farm,
Medusa's, I mean, it's the same, right? Medusa's like, hey, you're beating me in CS, but I'm a Medusa and I'm still farming well.
I'm trying to, like, I know there's so much action top, so, like, we're watching up there for you guys. I'm trying to keep track on Envy because he's just doing so well in this matchup. So I'm going to be watching how he's just dancing around because he's really just keeping it up with Darks here.
And Mike will go down, Brax will get him stunned up, and he just got to run away. And pretty much anytime there's an Ice Shards block, you're going to go. There's at least one, if not two heroes dead.
Yeah.
He's done a good job with those Ice Shards so far.
Old Chicken was actually holding skill point for a long time there. He was level 4 with 1-2 build. He now put the second stun.
Done. Yeah, that AoE on level 1 stun, it just feels so bad.
Yeah, again now. Mike.
There's the Ice Shard's going to be easy. Stun goes out. There's going to right-click. Brax tries to run forward, but can't really do anything to sleep. He does. Let's make it. Wait, no. Here comes the ulti from Eternal Envy, though. Who do they want to go on? Looks like they want to kill the Tusk. Possibly go for the Rasta as well afterwards. Gonna go for the TP. Infernal Blade is on cooldown, and he'll make it out. Well, the first Spectre ulti used, and I don't know, was that worth it? You get one kill, but now this bottom lane is just gonna push in, and we see the instant TP back.
Yeah. I think also it's starting to get a little harder for him down here too, because we've seen the Darkseers, you know, the first 2 levels, level 3 isn't really that strong. It's level 5 and level 7 where you're like, oh god, I can't actually lane versus double Shell at all. But I mean, I'm actually still surprised how well Envy's doing. It's like this Soul Ring build we've seen. I think it was it first done at the major?
I believe so.
Right, I think it was Vici or one.
Yeah,
I can't
people
remember
started to. I mean, you just farm the jungle, right? Once you get the Spectral Dagger cooldown, you get this Soul Ring, you're just like, wow, I'm pretty good at doing this.
I'm trying to remember if it was Ame or I can't remember exactly which player it was, but there was one player which started doing it and everybody was like, wow, that's actually really good, because even when you're pressured, you just dagger for those range creeps. Yeah.
I mean, that's pro Dota, right? Like, something might not be good, and then you see like this Ame or this maybe do it in their lane. You're like, wait, this is good. Let's copy it. Middle lane, yeah, they get the stun real. Does have ulti, but they don't want to commit for it. You never know who's TPing in, and looks like Leshrac actually cancels his TP.
Yeah, he's still 7 stick charges plus that Fairy Fire, so I'm not going to be able to breach through.
There you go, the hell, the Dominator, Iron Shell creep, gonna try to run away. Tag team is there, tanky is the Spectre, runs over the Ice Shards. That's the thing I guess we didn't talk about. Medusa and Spectre are hard to kill, like in their respective lanes with their defensive abilities.
That is definitely true.
Tower. It looks like a lot of trouble. You see TMT rotate down here in the Stroke of Fate, as they said, just the creep clear. You brought that up yesterday too. It's like, why do they pick this hero? Probably just to clear creeps, and you see it's pretty good. Mike will get the sleep. He has double damage, so he's doing some nice beatdowns here. Stun will come from the low ground. Rioya is like, nah, I'm out of here. I'm heading back. Mike's
got to be careful. Like, Kaka's already rotating over.
Yeah, he is not looking alive right now. Trying to do some rounds, buying a little bit of space. TMT will go down. Mike, he's going for it, though. Unfortunately, the Medusa will survive for them, and that's a quick 2-0 out of nowhere for him. And Brax has to rotate bottom. And looks like it's starting to get a little bit out of control for Beast Coast here, besides Rioya in the mid lane.
Yeah, you have to kind of expect this, though. When they're running this aggro tri-lane, even though Beast Coast did actually much better than I thought they would have done up there, they've gotten so many successful kills. I mean, it's a tri-lane with a Tusk. You know, it's tag team. You've got Shadow Shaman 2 with high base. They did a great job pressuring out there. And then, yeah, Darkseer's getting those levels, so he's able to pressure out.
And middle lane, the one hero we said was doing pretty good for Beast Coast. It's going to get Ice Sharded in, goes down, uses Laguna, but doesn't even get the kill. Now here's Eternal Envy and Mike, but from the side is going to be the Rasta. Will they be able to get the shackles? Nope, the Surge on himself. He's just Iron Shelling both of them down together. There goes Mike. And old 11, he is owning on this Darkseer. Top net worth and a double killing spree.
And if he gets out of control, I mean, he's going to get his Arcane Boots online, he gets his mech or his pipe, whichever one of those defensive items he wants to go for. That's where we're talking about Beast Coast could just completely lose control of this entire game, because these tier 1s are all going to get sieged right now by Keen. You see top Old Chicken, he's like, all right, you got to pressure one lane, I have Edict, I take this tower by myself.
Here they go, they're going to go for the Tusk. It is a 4-man rotation. It does look like they will get the kill. Eternal Envy picks it up, but as you said, Old Chicken gets the tower right afterwards. Old 11 already pressuring he's going near the top lane farming jungle. They might just take a tier 2 top if they really want.
Yeah, he actually went for the 4 points in the Edict since he's that side lane. Lesh hasn't decided, he hasn't picked up that secondary item choice just yet. Hasn't chosen if he's going to go for just like Bloodstone Jewels or that Atos, the usual ones.
Ooh, yeah, and Ike's Mike having a rough one on the Bane. 6 deaths at the 9-minute mark, and sometimes, you know, that Suicidal 5 is still played, even though, you know, some of these bigger teams are like, we need everyone to have farm. Like, we have some Throngs middle, they want to do a gank, but Old 11, he's farm. You can't do anything to this guy. It honestly feels like the Medusa and Darkseer are almost like unkillable at this point. We're only 10 minutes in.
I mean, it really, really does. And this Darkseer has so much power. This Dominator build that, of course, it's been around for a very, very long time. It just it makes the hero a completely different monster than what it used to be. It used to be like, oh, he's just going to farm, he gets these defensive items, then he's this team fighting. Now it's like, you have to watch out because he just runs around with now triple Ion Shell or double Ion Shell by himself. And as we see top, as soon as NiP showing his face, they're setting up here with the try gank.
He won't pull the Leshrac in with him, but he does have the Ice Shards, but he just runs over, and Kurlami doing a good job. They're going to try to turn it around, though. TMT as well as Brax are here. Unfortunately, they don't have the best lockdown. You got an Infernal Blade, and that's about it.
We talked a lot about, well, we always do, but how important stuns can be, right? And you look at East Coast, they don't really have your traditional, stuns. Sure, they have the Lina, of course, but then they've had like Bane, Sleep, Fiend's Grip. It's not like Lesh stun, Shadow Shaman, X, Shackle.
You have to.
A little bit tougher.
It's tough to aim a Lina stun too, right? One juke to the left, and you're just like, well, now I can't get this kill. He's getting the stun there. He does have Lina as well. Will throw it out. Snowball will go out, but it looks to be a kill on this touch. Doing a ton of damage to Rioya, but they will finally get a kill.
They need Brax to be finding a lot more farm if possible. I mean, it's really hard for him right now, but you look at their heroes, and 4 of them are pretty damn squishy. If Brax starts to fall behind even more, they're all just going to be just dying because they can't actually frontline. The Spectre's going to be their frontliner in a way. That's not going to be very, very fun.
Yeah, your Spectre's like, I want to go in on the back line. It's like, nah, you got to go in the front for Rioya. And you see the top 3 net worth were the Radiant, but now the Spectre actually has moved in, so trying to keep him into the game. And you agree, I think Cap said, can a Spectre solo carry a game versus, it feels rough for Zarasta and Medusa.
I would not imagine so, no. I mean, it's like, even in the later stages of the game, I've just seen these dudes just throw a Mystic Snake on the rest of your team and then just, you're full man again.
That is quite the skill with the talent as well. And, well, it looks like bottom lane, they're setting up possibly. Obviously, it's tough to kill. Same with Lesh and Lina are the same thing. Like, they have a good stun, but we do normally need a setup.
I think he is going for his own setup on ult. It is going to be the Yules for himself.
Yep. Yules or Atos. Yules better, right? Because defensive item, Pulse Nova's just going while your Yules in the air too. Nice. They will just get another tier 1 tower. So, as you said, they just continue to siege them down, and they're just suffocating Beast Coast already.
Yeah, just look to take those 3 tier 1s, and then you're going to have a very good net worth advantage, and then you're going to be able to look to take that Roche when you have those defensive items. I didn't actually see what Old 11 purchased just yet, but it will be that mech.
Yep.
As we, it's one of them, right? It had to be either the mech or the Crimson Guard in this game. Mech looks a little bit better here.
The rotation on the middle, that Centaur Conquer with the Iron Shield, so intimidating, can probably solo half the supports in the game.
I mean, now they have multiple forms of initiation on Keen. What you look at Beast Coast, they don't really have forms of initiation. Their initiation is their haunt, gives them information, and then they have to just walk in because they don't have this other type of tool. Brax's farm is just completely stagnated, level 7 on Doom. He has phased drum at least, but...
Top lane, turn line, and he could be in trouble. There's triple. That's gonna be the Centaur Conquer stun, and nicely done. Old 11, that boy is a beast. He actually really is.
He's so aggressive. I've always loved watching this guy. Like Faith Beyond and Old 11, like they're such aggressive offlaners.
And unlike Darkseer, right? Like obviously, like Iron Shell, you have, but to just like look out and seek these kills while everyone else is farming, it's a good thing to have on your team.
Mike's still level 5.
That feels rough. He's getting closer, but he doesn't need to get a little more experience. You gotta like smoke up and find a grip kill like immediately, right? 'Cause you can just tell there's not much they can do. They lose middle tier 1 as well, and
they
look at the levels.
They have to start finding something with any of their ultimates, right? Like they're not able to find pretty much anything picked up. I think if they're going to be able to look for a fight, they have to look. I don't know who they want. They fight away from the Darkseer. I feel like fighting near the Darkseer right now is impossible.
And he already has like his mech pretty much. You are not killing anyone near that guy. Have a quick pause here, Mike. Getting close to that 14 minutes. And man, it's a 6K lead. And we saw they almost beat Virtus Pro yesterday, but then again, we also saw Keen win a 20-minute game 1.
We did.
So this looks very similar to that. And look at that, the Spectre versus Medusa. That is a late game. I just don't know. This is going to be so tough for the Spectre, it feels like. Yeah, this is the big one.
If it even gets, it's like that's not even looks it's going to get him. Yeah, this is the big one. You look at the Darkseer in comparison.
And what can you, like this Doom, right? It obviously can catch back up, but he's one of those heroes you think you just kind of go to a lane, you devour creeps, you kind of stay in the middle, but he's the lowest core in the game by a decent amount.
I think the move by Keen in the beginning of the game to get that ward up on that deep cliff, like at the start of the game, just to recognize where the lanes are, because we've seen these matchups a lot, right? Where people pick Darkseer and your teams that aren't as experienced, they'll just send that Darkseer in the top lane, and then Beast Coast, they want to match the Doom versus it, right? Because you just eat the Ion creep and you actually do pretty well versus it. But Keen, they were completely aware of that. They set up the lanes perfectly, and it's set them up into a very good early 15 minutes.
is under attack.
It's going to be an Atos coming up from that Lina, and there's going to be the big drop top with that Edict in this tower. Oh my goodness, they do have a glyph. We'll see if they want to use it. Doesn't look like they actually do quite yet.
The Atos is, like, I understand it, but they've got a lot of to get on top of the Lina already, right? Like, so the Yules would seem like it's a little bit better in the defensive asset versus a Tusk, especially.
Yeah. And then now what Lina lacks, there's going to be an ulti. They're going to try to come in there by their shrine. There's going to be the first grip. It will be Rasta. They should be able to bring him down. There's going to be Laguna on the backside as well, and they will get both supports on the side of Keen. They needed that. Just getting 2 kills, and now that opens up their jungle. Like, these 2 guys are gone. We can finally farm these, get our stacks going, get something.
Yeah, all their lanes are a bit under the gun here, though. Mid and top being pushed in quite heavily, and I think Blitz was talking about it too. It's like they have 3 heroes that don't really push lanes out in the super fast way. I mean, the Bane and the Spectre and the Doom is not the fastest. Spectre's okay, but mid.
Just wall placed down, but he doesn't actually put him under the wall. It doesn't look like it'll matter too much, so he's going to try to run Emryoya. Does miss a stun. Nice dodge by Old 11. Will just run away there.
He is a madman.
Dude, he just ran in, dodges the stun, runs back in. It's like, nah, I'm just getting out of here. Does miss the wall, though. A little bit odd, even with the vacuum down, but haste will be bottled by this Lash Dragon. This is, you just got to get the hell out of here, because they're just going to run straight at Ike. Mike, he's probably happy he's tanking the gank for his team, but there's going to be about 5 heroes middle. Like we talked about, they're just going to go high ground, possibly.
Yep,
they're actually going to find another one. Yep, a throw up in the air. This Grimster, he's the only way clearing a little bit out of position. They're double kill, unstoppable. We're about to have a 20-minute godlike Darkseer.
Dire's structures are
They're just really punishing, right? They recognize Beast Coast found an opportunity inside their jungle with their ultimates. They use the Laguna Blade, they use the Fiend's Grip, they use the Spectre ulti, so immediately Keen's like, we don't really have ultis that we need to wait for on our lineup. No. The only ulti they have, really, that matters in this early game at least, is the Serpent Wards. Because Stone Gaze isn't really being used for now. In the later stages, sure, that's going to be one we have to be able to watch out if we get it.
Yes, and they get that tier 2 tower. It's looking rougher and rougher. They slowly choke them out. And that's the thing, neither team actually has the best Roche taking. You definitely have to win a team fight before you go into there, because it's going to be a slow Roche take from either team.
Yeah, I think both teams, they take Roche with like items, right? Like Spectre, he has Manta, right? Desolate is one of the ones that's pretty decent, and yeah, same for Keenan.
Yep. Tough. How do you like did Eternal Envy have to go for this Blade Mail? It feels, I mean, you need something early game, but I've heard pretty mixed reviews on this item.
It's Envy. I mean,
it's out of your hands. You know, he's gonna do what he's gonna do.
He's a big fan of Blade Mail. I've always really liked Blade Mail as an item. Of course, it's gotten nerfed a lot over like the not recent past, but in the past. It's just an item that, you know, it's cost effective.
And man, also after they took those 2 kills middle, they actually took a triple stack on that big camp that I'm sure Envy was like, I would have loved to dagger span down, but I don't know. This the top 2 net worth right now, Leshrac and Darkseer, just dominating this game. Yeah. Lina has moved up though, 7k net worth, only 1,000 below the Medusa, and with how many towers are down, that's not too bad.
Yeah, no, definitely not. Just seeming like it just never can take a fight if Haunt is down, which is kind of the obvious thing versus when you're playing with Spectre.
Uh-oh, here we go, the Centaur Conqueror again. There's the haste, nice Atos, and a sleep as well. They're just gonna run away from it. Probably a smart idea. They have no clue how many heroes are behind there.
I think just taking a 5-on-5 right now for Beast Coast is possible. They have to try to find someone to get picked off, or if they can get some like double Doom. That's the other way that they can maybe look to take the fight. But even then, I think Keen can just out-sustain the Dooms with their heroes. Like, depending on who gets caught by it, of course, but I mean, Darkseer has Guardian Greaves.
And that was a nice ward by Beast Coast down on that bottom bounty rune that sees Brax TP's out with like a half second to go and just makes it. That's what they got to do, right? Like, if you're Beast Coast, you got to split the map, but you can't die. That's always the thing, right? When you're behind, you're like, well, we got to get farms. We have to farm everywhere, but then you get picked off one by one.
And if you do get picked off, it's exactly what we're talking about. They just go to Roche, they drop a Serpent Wards in there, and it's going to be a quick and easy one for Keen. And then, yeah, high ground threatened. So Beast Coast has to be really careful with their positioning. And there's at least they have 2 wards down, right? Like you were mentioning, they have the one bottom, they have that one that they just placed up top on the rune, and they have the one on the bounty rune.
Yeah, they have the good vision. The problem is, even if you see everyone, you got to farm somewhere, you're like, well, I guess we just can. They take the last tier 2 19 minutes in.
And look, they already, Yee's pinging the tower. He's like, force them back. We know what they're doing. They're trying to split up. They're not wanting to fight us. Force us. They're even going to commit the Serpent Wards here to force Beast Coast all the way back.
And there's the Edict as well. There is There's no glyph. They might just get this tier 3 power. Sure seems to be it. Yeah, it will be. They're going to be the double silence. Actually, he's going to Manta, though, anyways, and try to run away into the air as the Yules, and they just can't do damage to these guys.
Uh-oh.
There's going to be a quick pause here by Roy. Has an Arcane Rune on this Lina, so he will be able to spam some stuff out, but who are we missing? Spectre's not there, obviously, can haunt in, and it looks like Brax, he's going to have to run his way there.
He's got 4 seconds left on that TP, but they just used their Grimstroke ulti. Look at this. You see Yee's already saying, like, Doom is missing. Just watch out for some type of wraparound, but yeah, they've already used, like, the combo that they in particular want to.
Yeah. All they can do now is just hope Grimstroke spams it out. Sure feels like that's it, and I don't think this Medusa cares. Medusa's going to right-click the racks, right? Yeah,
go spam, and maybe you have your Eternal Envy grab those bounties top, maybe try to grab the ones bottom. No, they have to, I think they can still just keep trying to spam. They do have the, yeah, they have all their tools up except for that Grimstroke ult, but Brax, I feel like Brax trying to walk in versus this lineup is just going to die, because he doesn't have that BKB just yet. He doesn't have the Blink either for some, like, Blink Centaur Stomp.
You just see how calm Keen is right now. Just waiting. They're like, we got this game. Chilling.
Yeah.
It is. This is, I mean, this pretty much is the game right here. Well, maybe not. They probably will lose the racks, but maybe they can take a fight. As you said, Eternal Envy, they want to wait a little bit, because you got to get the bounty rune.
Yep.
Like, that is your way back in, is just getting bounty runes and getting money.
And maybe even just, you maybe even take the choice of try to get a kill if they overextend, but this racks might just not be
defendable.
Something you can defend. Maybe the melee, maybe if they overextend. The range looks like it's probably going to die. But it's a decision you're going to have to take pretty soon right now on Beast Coast.
The Envy there. He is smiling. He's like, we got this, you know. I'm the Spectre. I'm the end-all, be-all, baby. I can carry. That's what you want your carry to be, right? You always want your carry to say, I can carry a game. They're doubting yourself. Probably not a good sign.
Did we actually, we didn't get to see anything that was wrong. They just paused, right? Yeah, just paused. So we don't really know what the issue is at the moment.
But man.
This is exactly what we talked about, though. You looked at Beast Coast lineup. It looks rather greedy. The Lina can make plays, but the way that the lanes were kind of set up, they got set back. And this is that 20-minute GG push that we were potentially talking about that Keen's looking for.
It's actually exactly what they're doing.
20 minutes.
Yep, man. And that's the thing, right? People are like, well, Medusa's that late game, but now Medusa with that snake can just...
Yeah.
She just sieges everything, right? And I think Cap said it best, like, even against heroes like Phoenix, right? You're happy just standing there right-clicking. You're doing so much by honestly not doing much at all.
Yeah, I mean, in Phoenix Doom, like, if you get doomed, does this do? So you just, you hold your ground. And sure, you're losing your mana, but you've got a Darkseer with Guardian Greaves sitting behind you waiting to restore everything, you know, your health and your mana.
The pipe next, and man, he has definitely just had a game. And usually don't think you're like, man, this Darkseer was super impactful, but you're like, he was. He sat in his lane, he won his lane, and then he just ganked.
He played himself, too.
Yeah.
It's not like he's like 6-1-4. No, he's 6-0-0. Old 11 has claimed all of the kills for himself as well.
He is mad, man. I mean, it's 12 out of 14 kills he's involved in. That is... Oh, 6-0-0. Sorry, yeah. That is... He doesn't care. He's just taking all the farm. What are you going to do about it?
Kaka's the one who's been a beast. I mean, and as always for this team, right? It's you talked about Newbie in the past. It was Kaka. You talked about Keen. It's Kaka. And you look, he's part of 13 of the 14 kills in this game, just making all the moves as the Tusk. It's the four's job, but to be in 90% of the kills is higher than 90% of the kills.
Yep, and it looks like we have the G's coming out here, so this could be it. The final siege is going to go down. Snakes are going to be attacking the racks here along with the Medusa, and they're just going to right-click. Yep, there goes the Snake. Only hit Ice Mike. Run back. The siege continues, though. Rioya trying to clear out these wards. And Eternal Envy will get those top 2 bounties. Old Chick will get the bottom 2 bounties. And that range rack slowly gets chunked by these 2 snakes.
Oh, they're actually
brought down.
Bringing Envy, not using the Hawk jump in. He's actually walking his way down.
Uh-oh, yeah, they're going to go. The Tusk will get stunned up. They don't want to hit the Guardian Greaves. Vacuum Wall will help the 2 of them. Old Chicken does throw out a stun. Ice Shard plus. The sleep will be there. I don't think it'll buy enough. I mean, instantly gets blown up as Brax has no buyback. I think we're definitely seeing the melee and range racks drop here.
And this is what we talked about, right, Brax? He doesn't have the toolkit to be able to actually walk in because of how behind he is in this game, and just walks up and he's just instantly dead.
They can't do anything. They'll just back out of the base here. And you think about Roche, should you just go in middle? Looks like they're thinking about backing up a little here. But man,
how close are they to their next item? They might just pick up their next fresh set of items, go Roche, and look to end.
Yeah, Leshrac just got his. He's got the Bloodstone. 15 charges now. That's scary. No one does really good with Bloodstone nowadays, right? I mean, Storm Spears, they go like 10 of them for some,
I don't
maybe I don't even think Timbers go with that much anymore. Like occasionally, but Oh, Hero's definitely seen some stuff.
Misclick on the stone gaze there by
Maybe they thought there was like a smoke chasing after him. Who knows? They're just gonna run away though, and
he was trying to manta.
Yeah, he's like,
he was
I gotta go. Doodle, time to go. And unfortunately, Dire doesn't have a ward, so they don't know that step. There's gonna be an Invis Dark. He will get ATO'd, will get stunned, and this should be killed. Doesn't want to use the Laguna Blade. I like it. Don't use your ultis. Don't freak out. Because if you use that Spectre ulti or that Laguna, right, Radiant's just gonna be like, well, they're missing one of their skills they have to have.
Yeah, just wait for the Shadow Shaman to respawn and go for the Rosh. If they had used one of those big ult, but they did not. But still, 11k gold lead, and you can see team, they're all positioning themselves on the right side, make sure they don't lose anybody else to that smoke move.
Mike, I love it. He's just like baiting middle. He's like, I'll push out middle, whatever. If I die,
might die now.
Yeah, he will. And there is the blink onto Tusk. There's going to be Old Chicken rotating over, and the Ledge doesn't even need the help. Really, cutting a creep wave. Smart play there, defending middle like that. That's what you got to do. That's cut creep waves. Hope they can't push. Only one creep will make it, so it'll die pretty quick. But there's a full pipe flying out on the Darkseer, as well as level 15 just picked up.
Wait, full pipe?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I thought he just had the hood and a little bit more.
He is. Oh no, now Envy is in a little bit of trouble, trying to hide in the trees. They're gonna fight him. No, Snowball goes, breaks down the tree, stuff comes out from Old Chicken. They're gonna try to nuke him down. Blade Bolt there does run uphill again though. Is trying to make it, will pop the Shrine. Are they gonna continue to commit? They sure will. Medusa still no ulti. I'm not sure if Beast Coast knows that though. There's gonna be the heck they try. Uh-oh, there's gonna be the Spectre. Will just go down. Will be a 5x throw down. There's going to be the double Laguna Blade, but it doesn't even do any damage. They get a hold down. Ryoya, he's just going to chop under this wall in the ward. Will get right-click down, and there goes IX Mike as well. And this is looking real tough. Glimmer Cape will save TMT at least for now, but the Spectre, this would be a dieback. Will probably be the game. The 70 seconds dead on the Spectre. Get a kill the Shrine as well. That was with a double Laguna Blade.
Double Laguna.
I didn't feel like they did any damage.
I think they got the double Doom as well, right? Double Laguna, double Doom, and the Dusa, what we were talking about, like what the panel talked about, what Blitz and Cap were saying too, is Dusa's one of those heroes. You get doomed, you just hold your ground.
And they find another. I don't know. No one else is really around here. I guess he's just stopping Brax from TPing, doing a good job with that. And, well, 20 seconds until it's back up. So this is going to be a middle racks as well. Old Chicken actually just running straight in. TMT. What's up? They got a Glimmer Cape though. Stun goes out, just instantly kills him. There's going to be the sleep. Vacuum back. He's going to wake him up as well. Old Chicken doesn't have the stun, but the lightning pulse into the base he goes. Now he'll back out. Meanwhile, the Rax is just dying as these two slowly bring him down.
They're just too far behind. Yeah, GG's called. I mean, with even the Bloodstone there, where Old Chicken, he's able to pop it after he gets, you know, after the Doom, or after the ability wear off, and he full heals up inside the fight. That fight there is like, it's an all-in by Beast Coast. We're so far behind. Maybe we can burst somebody, but too many items.
In game number 1, when they played, it was a similar
Whoa, he's gonna space. Try it. You got it. That's it.
кекс.
Вообще.
Но это...
С полярити и под эмпауэром. Дожить бы до лейта.
До этого, да.
Леон дэмэдж берет, эмпауэр получает, начинает с руки, с фингера тут, ох.
Вот, усиление лайна, как раз внизу PPD себе. Ну, это хороший выбор, потому что у тебя сверху стоит Энигма, ты стоишь под тауром, а снизу у тебя стоит Бейн, и под нем можно там любого спорта, кора брать. То есть, опять же, есть морф. Это тут неприятно, потому что он остался, и сейчас НиП этим морфом на 4-й пик-то закрыть могут, потому что зачем отходить от счета 17-0-3 на морфе?
Ну ладно.
Но перестраховались с Леоном, перестраховались, но все равно морф как бы и до сих пор может зайти.
А это же и превращаемся в Магнуса, эмпауэр на себя, опять свою форму, и начинаем бахать, ох. Красота. Ну да, Леон на самом деле портит.
Дрим, я так смотрю, на морфе вроде тоже покатывает. Может попытаться своровать?
Тролль морф.
Не жадновато будет?
Жадновато. Они, в принципе, перестраховались. У них есть и РП, у них есть и Хекс, и Стан. Просто на предыдущей карте у тебя ничего не было. Тебе нужны были артефакты собирать, тебе нужно было орчиды собирать как раз-таки, чтобы контрить этого морфа. Но морфа был настолько хорошо, что он сразу линку себе влепил, и там любой орчид, любой там Стан, который будет там от Сен-Кинга, он будет уходить от него этой линкен-сферой. Поэтому... А здесь станов много. Здесь станов много, дизейблов много, и тролль как раз-таки морфа уничтожит под эти станы. Но это не точно.
Это не точно. Так, ну что, по идее, герой сложный нужен для имперцев?
Сложный, либо Магнус сложный. Ну, не любит так делать. Ну, нужно какой-то еще один дизейбл. Бэтрайдер. Магнус Бэтрайдер довольно-таки неплохая.
До того же Шейкера как вам?
Ну, 2 милишника вот, не очень они работают. Шейкер, Магнус.
С точки зрения линии,
Шейкер,
да,
Леон.
но по игре он тут до появления БКБ на Энигме будет здорово смотреться. Сен-Кингу ульт собьет, Бейну ульт собьет.
Бэтрайдер мне больше нравится.
Да тут же Дарксир есть, наверное.
Опять ДС такой себе.
Ну, хочешь ты видеть Дарксира сейчас у
Нет, не хочу. Ну, слабо, еще слабее линия. Там у тебя хоть Сен-Кинг был, здесь у тебя Магнус будет. Ну, или Леон.
How to get
from their end of things.
Second fate, or you first to ban the Oracle, and then you just kind of put them in that position where it's a little bit rough. Because you already know that one ban has to be wasted towards like Pro or something.
But you were saying that this is all something that they could have predicted. And yet they take so much time thinking about their second pick.
I mean, it's interesting because despite all those things, they decided to take the Nyx first over the DS themselves.
I mean, I feel like it's the... like, they got the matchup that they wanted, but I think a lot of this time is based off of the Sand King.
Yeah.
I think that's the curveball that no one's quite expecting.
Mm-hmm. So they take Lifestealer, which I think is excellent against both of these heroes. Although we did see Sand King, it was the VP game where they beat Liquid with it. Sand King versus Lifestealer.
Yeah.
Which opening do you like most?
I actually do like Beast Coast's opening. I thought that it was creative at least, or clever.
Yeah. I mean, again, they're going in on a a wombo combo, a big team fight combination.
I think it's just better lanes too.
Yes, because already Darkseer by himself, he doesn't need too much help. Means that you got at least one person that can flex and can help in whichever lane he feels has the most pressure, and they won't get forced into a laning setup that they don't want.
Yeah, but I think Keen is really smart too. Like they had to have known that the DS was coming. I don't think it was the DS pick that bothered them nearly as much as the SK. It's like, well, what's our response here? Do we just like straight up AM them or something like that? No, let's take a Lifestealer. This hero can't be pressured in lane. And that's normally like what you do to respond to the Darkseers. You pick some like off lane or some safe laner that can like win a straight up 1v1. Whereas like I don't think Spectre can. I do think heroes like Anti-Mage and Lifestealer do fine against it.
Well, that's the beauty about Darkseer, right? Is that like he doesn't need to take that 1v1 anymore. Then he just starts cutting creep waves.
Yeah.
And he gets the extra pull into neutrals. This is why he's like such a valued offlaner. Like I really believe he's only secondary to like Doom or Brew, because Brew's is kind of a special case in his team fight aspect.
And the Doom obviously just straight up counters you 1-on-1.
Yeah, Doom and Devour is such an insane laning phase ability, and it's like the sports as well. We have yet to see it for this series, but Oracle's been banned out non-stop. The other really OP support is Furion. Not seeing that yet in this series.
And we saw it yesterday quite a bit.
Yeah, I think it's one of the most picked supports of this tournament as well. And it has, I think, like a 60% win rate, if I remember.
It's pretty impressive.
Pretty high.
Yeah.
54.
Okay, so I thought that they needed... the way to play against Lifestealers, you need a way to be able to cancel his Rage TP. And because they took Sanking, it's not like they can take Tusk or anything like that. So they respond by taking Bane, which I feel like everyone would have read too, because it is IX Mike's, let's say, preferred hero.
Preferred hero, aka the hero he's gonna play for the 4th time in a row.
Is it?
Yeah, because he played Omni Knight in the first one and then Bane in the two other games yesterday.
Bane on Bane on Bane.
Bane, like, he helps you in the fact that Lifestealer won't be able to do the, like, oh, okay, I've just got a free Rage TP so I can push lanes nonstop, but Bane will not be able to save you against the Nyx Assassin Life Bomb that's going to come in. This Infest Bomb that gets on top of it, because they don't have a defensive support at this point. Like, Nightmare is kind of a defensive ability in very certain situations, but against Lifestealer just sticks on you for a good 6 seconds. A half second of dodge is not going to do anything.
Yeah, I agree.
What do we think about the Troll pickup here? We do have the Troll versus Lifestealer, which traditionally Troll is one of the counters that you want against Lifestealer, that you wanted against Lifestealer. Is that still the case?
Well, I mean, don't you just take OD here? Like, it fits sort of you've got these frontliners in Lifestealer, Nyx Assassin, you've got the OD versus Troll matchup that is favorable for you. I don't think you dislike any of the other heroes on Beast Coast so far.
Yeah, I think OD is actually quite nice.
A saving hero. Of course, Bane is counted as that as well, but on the same team as Troll this time.
Yeah, you can imprison somebody who's Fiend Script. Little stuff like that.
You always have a way to cancel grip too.
Yeah.
Once.
And like OD just likes control a lot, and that's what Nyx Assassin, Disruptor are gonna do for you. They might not give you the...
You're so smart, Austin.
Wow. Thanks.
There it is.
Very big genius.
Big head.
I mean,
a lot of wrinkles. A lot of wrinkles in this brain.
So OD is just, for most people like that don't know, it's considered like the hard counter to Troll. When he pops his ulti, you either Astral him or you just Astral whoever he goes on. He's a natural 4-staff builder too. Once his BKB starts to, like, you have a defensive ability as well to deal with him. You get BKB so that he can't root you. There's a lot of different ways in which it's just a rough matchup for OD or for Troll to play. But it does mean that you have options now. I think maybe Beast Coast didn't anticipate it because they thought that they would do some sort of like Lifestealer bomb combo, you know, like pick Puck or Storm or something like that. But if it's a good OD game, why not just pick OD? That would be the Wings idea of Dota, right? It's like, if it's just a good hero in the game, let's just pick it regardless of what the situation is. So Beast Coast need a mid for themselves.
you already know what you're going up against.
Yeah.
So that should make it easier to decide what you want to pick. He has got Rio has a lot of time to think what he wants. What is nice against an OD? The traditional one, the Razor's of course already out. There's a sniper. That Lina actually is not too bad, although you probably don't want.
Is going to help the cause immensely for Empire.
Absolutely. But Vada copying a lot of damage mid lane to Kodos. Won't find the kill quite yet. The Tidebringer is back up again. While Madden ends up losing quite a bit of HP himself. And bot lane, 33, will cop an Earth Spike, but they don't actually have detection here for the Sandstorm, so he can actually just sit there pretty. Just keep hitting up on those creeps with really no contestation quite yet. And Kodos mid lane though may be able to find Vada. Salve was committed to ensure he survives the torrent damage. Vada really playing with fire there, but he will end up surviving in the end.
It is always going to be a hard time for a Pugna facing off against something like the Kunkka, mainly because you really don't have too much of an HP pool, and playing against that torrent spam, you need a sizable HP pool to really maintain it. So it's going to be a bit of a struggle here for Fata. They do, unless, you know, he gets some resources down mid, otherwise best he can do is really just spam that Nether Blast and find what farm he can.
Well, at the very least, for the moment, he does find himself in front, and as those levels go up, he is going to start getting slightly more annoying with the Decrepify and the Nether Blast. Though again, Tidebringer does do a hell of a lot of damage. Top lane Seiyu going to find PPD and will skewer him back. I don't believe there's going to be any follow-up to this. It looks like PPD will be the one actually dishing out some more harassment onto Seiyu before he heads back into the lane. So far, so good for Dream down at the bot lane on that troll. 33 not really able to shut him down at all quite yet, and unlike last game, Dream does find himself on top of the last hits board very early on.
It's almost the opposite story this time around. It feels like Dream has not been pressured at all in this top lane. Really just, he's cleared out most of the waves and he's denied most of the waves, so it's going to be a bit of a hard time here for 33 to really apply some pressure onto this troll.
Again, they apply the pressure onto him. As it stands, level 3 on 33, but he is up against a dual lane, so he is starting to fall rather behind in terms of XP as well. Looks like Madden, though, has been struggling just a bit in the top lane now. He was left alone, so Seiyu isn't there anymore, and that just allows Ace once again to get back to farming. In fact, he's almost caught up to the troll in terms of last hits already. Seiyu is currently just looking for PPD, it seems, but I don't really see the kill potential here anyway. Looks like he's just going to stick around and keep eyes on PPD, make sure he's not really up to anything cheeky.
This is the main issue I have with Magna supports. Like, if you don't manage to get those early kills, if your lane partner just doesn't synergize the best with you, you really have a hard time to apply any pressure in the lane. It's not down to Seiyu, it's definitely down to the hero. Just not being able to do much in that lane, he can't really apply pressure onto Ace without copying way too much punishment back, and PPD has been keeping him in check as well.
Speaking of, he's going after King R right now. Almost finds the kill, does get the sap off in time to cancel the salve. 33 could not get in range to throw out another Burrow Strike. Meanwhile, top lane though, Ace will find the first blood. Pretty much solo up against Madden. There really wasn't much he could do to actually get out of that situation.
Yeah, it's a bit worrisome for Empire. Again, you have a POS 4 that does want some fast EXP, and you know, Seiyu is still level 1 at 5 minutes and a half in. It's not a good sign. It's really worrying, but that's down to NiP just keeping him in heavy check, and right now you really can't apply pressure on Ace again. Early on, it seemed like they were doing a good job with their dual lane, but now Ace is level 5 and pretty much top of net worth as well, tied up with the troll.
Seiyu gonna go in. They do have 3 heroes up that top lane now, and Ace should die here surely, though it looks like he will turn around and go for a bit of an engagement. Torrent will connect with the X, and Ace is gonna end up dying in the end. Nice rotation there from Kodos. Realizing again they had to take him out early on. That at least gets Seiyu as well up to that level 2 mark now on the Magnus, so he does have the Empower available to share with his teammates.
Yeah, that's going to be really helpful again, mainly to accelerate the farm that Dream will want to have. So he can rotate to that bot lane now and basically stoke some EXP and drop the Empower. It even helps out the Kunkka as well. Although, you know, it's not the biggest synergy as Kunkka already has his own cleave mechanic, but it does still help the cause out, and he does clear out a lot of camps stacked up here, Mike.
He certainly does. Now Kodos will find himself top of the last hits board thanks to those stacks. Madden, though, top lane, looks to be in trouble. Saksa does come in, does throw out the stun, and with the dominated creep as well, they will find a secondary kill there onto Madden at the almost 7-minute mark. Now PPD as well gets a Nightmare off onto Kodos. It looks like there's no help coming in to actually go for this kill, but he will actually body block up as well. Just wasting a lot of time here for this Kunkka.
You don't have the size.
Kodos. Still a 2-1. Slight net worth lead here for NiP, but you've got to be wary of the fact that it could turn into another game number 1 if they're not too careful here on Empire.
The one hero they really haven't kept in check this time is Saksa's Enigma. He's had a pretty good run, I'm assuming, in the jungle, going in and out, maybe popping in the lane to just get the Eidolons off, but he's had a really good time here. He's level 5, about to hit 6. He's had his hum for at least a minute now, so that's a really fast timing on that item, and if he manages to go away again, like pretty much free, it's going to be hard to contest this Enigma.
Certainly so. They will find the tier 1 top tower now as well on the side of NiP. Speaking of uncontested, Dream has been pretty much uncontested on that troll, so that is the saving grace here for Empire right now. 33 has not been able to shut him down whatsoever, and Dream almost out-leveling him now by 2 levels. Just continuing to find that farm and keeping up with Ace. 33 continuing to try to be annoying, but King R does come in with some dust, and he does see through that sandstorm. 33 though, Burrow Strike will be there onto Dream, but it will not matter. He will still end up finding the kill, and that's just going to escalate things even further for the Troll Warlord.
Yeah, again, that is pretty much what Empire needs to rely on right now, just having Dream get some big items going. I guess, you know, he is going for that Yasha first, which means we could see an SMY come out, which will mean he will be active quite fast.
Saksa dishing out a lot of damage there onto Seiyu. Seiyu at that level 4 mark now, so starting to catch up as that position 4 Magnus. Looks like 33 sees King R by himself, thought about going for a burrow. King R will dance around and vote. Now a line being drawn out up towards that top lane where Madden is once again. Just ensuring this Phoenix does not get too many levels, which is really what he needs. Now he's finding himself almost 2 levels ahead of the Phoenix now. Saksa actually able to TP out almost right next to them, though Dominated Creeps will go the way of Kodos. That is a nice little gold influx for him on that Kunkka as well.
Empire is definitely looking much healthier economically now. They also have slowed down the pace of the game just a bit, although it looks like NiP might be looking to apply some pressure. I don't think that's the smartest idea. This time around, NiP has not managed to take control of the jungle too well.
Epicenter being thrown out onto Dream bot lane. He won't actually get anything done apart from a bit of damage, but it looks like he was trying to threaten for taking that bounty rune off 33. I do agree with your sentiment though, John. They certainly haven't got as much control as they had in game number 1. And with Empire's team fight, like this draft, once you get into that big team fight, you've got so many things to be worried about. If they get caught out once with an RP or an egg stun, it's going to be a hell of a lot of damage.
It is definitely worrisome. I expected a bit of a faster push with the Pugna and the Enigma, but they do manage to take that tier 1 mid now, and that should help them with taking control onto that jungle, because it's something they have to keep an eye on. All right, they're having many stacks made by Seiyu. He's been stacking up this jungle, going in and out, making sure that his cores have something to farm with that Empower, and it's definitely paid off. They need to stop this before it escalates even more.
Well, looks like there will be a smoke here from Empire, and they will spot out Saksa. There will be an X coming out with the boat, of course. Saksa doesn't have any help around to really keep him alive, and this should be just an easy kill for Empire, and it will be. Kodos picks himself up his second kill of the game. Of course, that Enigma is another one of those heroes you want to shut down. Don't let him get too out of control and pick up those Guardian Greaves and the BKB and the Blink, because things can get rather complicated after that. They do find the kill.
It does seem like even with all these trades, both teams really do just want to farm right now. NiP is definitely buying a lot of space for Ace to get his own itemization going. At the same time, they're also buying space for 33 to get what he needs. He has his Veil up, probably looking into maybe a Blink Dagger at this point just to help him with initiation, or something else as an aura to buff up his allies. Otherwise, it does look like both teams are slowing this game down quite a fair bit, Mike.
Well, I can't blame Empire for that. Like, they've got a troll with a Magnus to empower, and at the same time I also can't blame NiP because they have an Arc Warden, though Ace will get jumped on. Egg was committed for this kill attempt. Ace, he is out of the egg range just barely. Seiyu trying to find it. King R is there as well, though 33 has rotated in, gets the Burrow Strike off. Meanwhile, Fada in the background, though, he's losing a lot of HP to Dream, and he will go down. Fiend's Grip is there on the Kunkka, though there's no follow-up. Black Hole also being committed, but again, there's just no real damage output, but Sucks' dominated creep, actually taking him out, though Dream will come in and make sure he can't continue. Now 33, he does end up finding Kodos. Dream is completely surrounded, it seems, though 33 does not have the stun available. They are going to continue the chase, however. Veil Discord is there. Epicenter being committed with the Sandstorm as well, and that is going to be a dead Troll Warlord coming out. They also ended up finding Madden, and that was just Saksa by himself. Chasing that Phoenix, finding that kill. That is going to be a very, very valuable team fight for the side of NiP.
Definitely so. That pretty much was a full team wipe, it looks like, for NiP. They managed to take out Empire's lineup, although they did respawn midway because it's fairly early on, but they do manage to wipe out all 5 heroes in a very staggered fight. Not the best outcome for Empire. Again, they need to get these clean initiations going. The RP wasn't expended. The boat wasn't actually expended at all, unless it's just been that long and it's off cooldown again. But they don't manage to find the kills they want. They lose all of their heroes, and they give NiP a bit more in terms of that net worth lead, which looked like it was going the way of Empire earlier on.
All credit to Seiyu as well. He just picks up a Blink Dagger on that Magnus now, so see if he does go for a surprise reveal with that RP. Wasn't really expecting him to go for that as the first item pickup, but at the same time, can't blame him. They do need that counter initiation or initiation from that Magnus in these engagement scenes. Well, top lane, they're going to get started right now onto PPD. Boat being committed. Nightmare was there, but it's not going to help with that boat damage. And now the Finger as well. Madden will manage to pick up the kill. He will chase after Fada, but this could be really dangerous for him. The stun does come out, and he has to commit the egg just in case. It felt a bit unnecessary for him to continue that chase, and the rest of Empire was just backing off. Nevertheless, though, they will find at least PPD on that bait.
Yeah, they managed to find one kill at the very least. You do want to take what you can get. That was a pretty nice network swing as well. Going the way of the Phoenix, so that does help the cause for Madsen.
Bit of engagement here over the Bounty Rune, though. Kodos will grab it, though. 33 with a nice Burrow Strike mid-dive, and it looks like this Phoenix is going to end up eventually losing his life. Very nice play from him indeed. They may go for even more. Kodos, he ran back in pretty much by himself. There is King R on top of the hill, but this looks really dangerous for him. The Midnight Pulse RP will come out in the back. Seiyu, it was all a bit of a bait play. The boat with the Torrent as well, onto 2 heroes. They find Sucks and they find Ace as well. The last one standing there is pretty much 33 on the Sand King, though it looks like he should die, and he will. Fada trying to turn it around with the life drain onto Dream. Dream is going to try and make a run for it now. Fada surely finds this. Just needs to connect that Nether Blast, but Dream is going to try and juke him out in the tree line. He does barely miss, and they think he's run to the west side of the map. Great play there from Dream to actually be able to get himself out of there, and it looks like it did end up being a 3-for-3 trade anyway in that engagement, but it does still end up favoring Empire in the end.
Definitely so. They do close out that net worth gap down to just 1k for NiP, and that is the initiation we were looking for. We needed Seiyu to land those big RPs. He does manage to do it this time around with his freshly bought Blink Dagger, so that item is already paying off for Empire, and they smoke up again. These guys, knowing that it's a pretty strong moment for them, they can keep forcing these fights.
Thing is, going into this next fight, they don't have the RP available this time. So we'll see how it turns out for them. Finger is also not available, though they do find 33 straight away. X-Boat will be there. The 33 does pop the Shrine, and they will get the boat, but that was a nice Burrow Strike attempt. Now Fada joins in, gets the Decrepify off onto the Kunkka, though it looks like they're just going to settle for King R on the line instead. Seiyu was thinking about going back in, but definitely not worth trying. They will lose the line in the end.
Yeah, pretty unsuccessful smoke, and as you mentioned, that was pretty keen of them. They didn't really have any, any wards dropped beforehand, so they were just going in blind. Maybe more of a warding run than anything else, and that does enable them to at least have some ice in this jungle now, which will be a very contested area, both sides warding it out fairly heavily.
Well, they just expended their last smoke as well at the top lane. Seiyu and Dream, looks like they were trying to make a play onto Ace, but the smoke does get broken. At the very least, Dream is still on the top of the net worth board at almost 10k now. He has that full Sergeant Yasha up on the Troll, and of course that is going to be due to the fact that he has that Empower available to him. But this is certainly looking pretty decent here for the Dire. So, top lane, it looks like they are going to have a look for Seiyu on that Magnus. They won't quite find him. The Midnight Pulse was not really in range to break the trees he was in. And it looks like everyone, again, is going to be more than comfortable just farming up for the moment.
It does benefit both teams really to start itemizing up. I think both teams want a net worth advantage. Who gets it first is a different question. Looks like NiP does manage to increase that gap back to 3k for themselves. So they are having a bit of a better time in terms of a farm trade. That could be down entirely to Aces here, of course. Just spamming that Tempest double and going around, getting that Midas off, clearing out waves. Does pump a lot back in for your net worth, so it could possibly just be riding an Ace. Same story in Empire though. The majority of that net worth, their highest net worth is really on Dream right now, 10k. Just kind of matching Ace as well. And they do both lead the charge, so both sides still not feeling quite comfy yet without a significant net worth lead, which is understandable. You want to get some more items up on all of your initiators. That means the Enigma, the Sand King on NiP side, the Phoenix, and the Magnus on Empire side.
33. Was about to get caught up, but had a nice blink. We'll get out in time. Oh, it looks like it was going to be an easy pickup for them, but it won't end up that way at all. Again, this map is slowly but surely shrinking for the side of Empire. NiP, they are going to start pushing in that top lane now with the Pugna and the Enigma Eidolons. Will there be a defense attempt? Doesn't really look like there will be. And even if they wanted to get in there, I think it may just be too late. Though Fortification will come out. There is Madden walking his way up on the Phoenix by himself, and he cops a nightmare. PPD now perhaps realizing he's completely alone, and they will go for the Fiend's Grip, though they are coming in from behind. Madden is copying way too much and will end up going down. Now Dream, though, will try to go onto Fada. Decrepify will save his life for the moment. PPD, meanwhile, still trying to control up that Magnus. There will be an X on the TP, and Fada should end up going down. They did end up finding King R, though, in the back as well. And it looks like that'll be it for that engagement. A 2-for-1 trade. Again, that does end up favoring the side of the Radiant, though. It looks like Empire actually get a bit more gold out of that, even though they did end up losing 2 heroes.
Yeah, that was a core for 2 supports. So I guess no, it's a core for a core and a support. But considering how big the Pugna is, that is definitely worthwhile. Looking at the net worth right now, Fata is 8.3k. And Madden is just at mere 5k as a Phoenix, not the best spot to be in. Does have his Midas, gonna be trying to rush up that farm for the Veil. Otherwise, it's not the best showing for the core Phoenix now. He did have a fairly hard time in lane.
Ace. Gonna start pushing in that mid lane with his Remnant. King R is going to be the one to try and defend this with Madden, but it's one of those things with the Arc Warden. You can just do this over and over again. It's going to be so annoying for Empire to have to deal with these Remnants that keep coming out of the Arc Warden, but that is going to be a thing. Mid lane, 33 does jump onto Madden, and they will find a very early Phoenix pickup, and now the Nightmare. It was onto Dream, so it looks like they'll leave him for the time being. RP in the back. They found Ace, though can they burst him down fast enough? 33 with a double Pyro Strike, and Ace walking out, and there's the Black Hole as well. They found both of them, and with that, Sayu surely will go down at this point. He does, though Dream, he actually found Ace before he managed to TP himself out, and will BKB TP himself. So at the very least, they get Ace, but they do lose two heroes for themselves. Still though, the gold does go the way of Empire.
Yeah, again, that's a higher priority target going the way of Empire. Just taking out Ace, who is worth a massive amount of gold, does help the cause, and you know, it does give them a bit more in that exchange. They do lose their tier 2 though, so rather unfortunate for Empire that they still lose that bit of map control. Stuck with only one outer tower now on their bot, that being the bot tier 2, so it's going to be a bit tough for them to take control on the map. They have pretty good wards this time though, but they can watch the movements of NiP better.
NiP look to be sitting up for a Roshan. 33 will get started with the Eidolons and the Dominated Creep from Saksa. Actually doing some decent damage at the moment as well. Empire, are they aware of this? I don't really see 33 actually sticking around the whole way, and it looks like Empire are going to go for an engagement early on. Madden, he'll start off with the Sun Ray onto PPD, though if it gets Fiend Script as well, it looks like they're going to lose this Phoenix, so no Skewer. It won't be there in time. Dream, BKB's up, but nobody around to actually attack. They will try and go after Saksa. Now Dream blinks in, straight after Ace. There's a lot of misses going on here in that bubble. Now the Decrepify as well, just keeping Ace alive. Fada trying his best with the life drain. Ace, will he go down? Yes, he will, but Sayo will lose his life as well. Dream gonna turn around after that Sand King. The stuns coming out from King R, just trying to control up 33, but he gets an even better stun out. Do they have the damage for Dream? Yes, they do, but King R will Finger of Death the Sand King. It looks like he will lose his own life in the process, and the only man left here is Kodo, who is actually going to go and try and take PPD, perhaps. Madden will join in again as well. PPD, his life should just be forfeit here. Madden will go ahead and pick that one up. A very close team fight for both sides, but again, it does look like Empire actually get quite a nice bit of gold out of that, even though they did have to buy back on Madden. It was essentially a 4-for-4 trade, but they do get about 2k gold in that engagement.
Definitely a nicer trade for the side of Empire. Again, they managed to take out the big target in Ace, and they do that before they lose out on their troll. So it's a bit more gold going their way. They do benefit a lot more from that. And it's really rather unfortunate for NiP that these jumps are working out. Empire has been playing on point though. They have been maximizing their lineup, they have been maximizing their initiation, they still have the RP up, and the egg if they want to go again. And you know, the boat is fairly low cooldown, it is off actually, just lacking the mana for it, so I don't actually see Empire slowing down the aggression anymore. I feel like they should definitely be in the front and forcing these fights over and over again. Should be wary of that black hole being up in Saksa now, but I think it's at the point where it's still manageable. No BKB yet on this Enigma, so you have ways of cancelling it.
Dire are scanning.
NiP look to be setting up a kill here in the jungle. Madden not showing himself in lane quite yet, but it looks like NiP did just barely spot him out. Let's just go ahead and hide in the tree line for the moment. It's like the Empire are still just trying to find Ace on that Arc Warden. Will not really show up, he's just hanging around in the jungle, just continues to farm up, though they will find Saksa instead, and that is still a very nice kill to get. Boat will come out just to ensure it, though no, nice Nightmare dodge there from PPD. They will still find the kill, and here comes Dream. 33 is going to be the target. Slow will be there with the Flux, though they do get the X and the Torrent. The Yules is there from 33 to make sure he does not get X back. Meanwhile, top lane, Fada is split pushing. So either they defend, or they're probably going to lose a tier 3 at this rate. Looks like Ace is going to send in the Remnant and go after Kodos, just delaying things a little more. King R is copying a fair bit of damage, though PPD is also doing the same on Dream. Nightmare will be there in time. King R will take it for his teammate, and PPD, one more right click should kill him off, but the fog is very upsetting here for Dream. He actually runs the wrong way and does not get in range for those axes. PPD somehow still alive and will actually manage to TP his way out as well.
Oh man, that's really unfortunate for Empire. They do get the big kill on Sox at the very least in that last engagement, so that does mean that NiP has to pull back. They can't take these team fights without the Enigma at this point in the game. They could do it with 33, but the Black Hole is definitely a higher priority. So without that tool, can't really force the 5v5, especially when all the cooldowns are off for Empire.
Radiant are scanning.
Roshan still standing here. This is still the first Roshan that hasn't been taken quite yet. See the Troll Warlord remaining at the top of the net worth. Does have the Basher up now and is going straight into that Abyssal Blade. In fact, it looks like Empire are once again going to try and get aggressive in the mid lane. The look at 33. He's already set up for this. PPD gonna dodge the Torrent with the Nightmare once again, though. Hex will come out. Now the Epi in the back. They will find King R on that line, it seems, though Egg has been committed as well. PPD did end up losing his life. Yules again to try and dodge the X, though now a Torrent and a boat comes in and lands. There's the RP from Seiyu as well. Who are they actually trying to find? It is still 33 that goes down, and now the Black Hole. It's only onto one, though. In fact, it may be two because they walk into it, but they still end up losing Saksa. Kodos trying to find the next target. Ace will manage to get out of there with the Shadow Blade, and now the Roshan will just be open to Empire. They will go straight into it as well.
That's some really good spacing coming out from Empire, just managing to declump at the right times and really force Saksa to throw out a pretty wonky Black Hole, I have to say. Not the best sort of use of that spell, and it's going to be on cooldown for a fairly long time, so NiP's not going to have that tool in the 5v5. It's going to be a very rough time for them for the next 2 minutes and around 10 seconds. It's going to be a hard defense at any of these objectives.
Bot lane, Kodos going to try and look for the Pugna. The Fada will already back off, however. Looks like Fada is just desperately trying to get up that BKB for himself. Isn't quite close yet, though. Of course, Ace again, just being very annoying in the mid lane with his Remnants. And this is one of those things with the Arc Warden, like, as well as Empire is doing right now, it's just so hard to actually push when you've got all your waves being pushed out by this Pugna and Arc Warden.
Yeah, that's the one blessing for NiP right now. Their lineup can apply a lot of pressure on the map without too much commitment. So that does mean there's only so long Empire can afford to get these pushes down without losing something in return.
Look at that bot lane. The T2 tower probably going to end up going down here just to the creep wave after Ace's Remnant dies. In fact, it won't even die. He'll just find it. That'll be the last outer tower for Empire now going down. Though they will go after the tier 2 mid themselves now thanks to the Dream. It's just going to be a matter of whether the NiP want to try and be aggressive here, but it looks like the side of Empire will back off early. They did spot out Ace down at the bot lane, but he does also go for the TP immediately, and looks like they're going to head up top, where 33 is still in the tree line. TP, 5 seconds away. He should be alright. He still has the Yules and the Blink available. He will just go pretty deep into the trees, just in case. And yeah, they've actually given up on that Sand King kill.
I do want to point out, Mike, Dream right now is... He has it. He has his Abyssal Blade, and that's going to be really worrying for NiP. That just means he can burst anyone down as long as he blinks in without having to rely on anyone else. Just blink in, stun up, and any single hero is pretty much dead. None of these heroes are particularly tanky. Maybe the Sand King with a bit more on him, but right now none of these heroes strike me as being survivable enough to take that onslaught from the troll.
PPD will get caught out bot lane. He was just trying to get some deep wards in, but it looks like King R will de-ward them immediately as well. Of course, they did have their own Observer Ward keeping an eye on PPD while he was doing that. Meanwhile, 33, though, is still in that same tree line area. And Seiyu is actually having a look for him. They seem to know he's around. 33 now going to get spotted out. Sandstorm immediately with the Burrow Strike. Kodos could not get the X off in time, though. There's the skewer. It will find him. And this should be a dead Sand King. The Hex will come out as well. Torrent does not actually end up connecting, but it doesn't really matter. Kodos hitting very hard with that Empower and will find the kill.
Really strange decision from 33 to hang around there. I'm not sure what he was really hoping for. I guess he just wants to keep cutting that wave. Definitely not worth his life, giving out that much gold again. He's not too far ahead anymore. His itemization has slowed down a bit, and that is concerning for NiP. They just can't keep up with the initiators on Empire's side in terms of net worth right now. We've seen the Phoenix take over in terms of farm, even ahead of Saksa. So he's having a good time at least recovering up from a pretty rough laning phase. Going to have that Shiva's Guard fairly soon. Already has the Aeon Disc as well. So it's going to be a tall order to burst him down at the start of the fight. He should be able to get off that egg every single time now.
With that, they are going to push into that top tier 2. They found PPD. They silence him up, though. Sark's presence does scare them off just a bit, and now Farder will get started with the Decrepify and the Life Drain. They do get the Fiend's Grip off as well. Ace jumps in with the Remnant, though. Egg comes in and Dream will immediately take down Saksa. Now the skewer back, and PPD, he's just a sitting duck as well. 2 heroes lost. They found Kodos. That'll be pretty much it for the moment. NiP, though, they may have done enough to stop this push. 33 does try and Burrow Strike, but will end up missing just barely. Empire thinking about reinitiating here, though Dream doesn't really have much mana to speak of. It looks like he just wants to make use of that Aegis before it does end up expiring by finding that final top tier 2 tower, but they will not get so lucky.
Yeah, and again, a very clean team fight coming out for Empire. They do lose their Kunkka, but they find what they want. They take out the Enigma straight up, and this is the issue that NiP will be facing now with the itemization on Dream. He can just jump in, get that Abyssal up, and kill anyone that he decides to. And if that's Saksa's Enigma, the counter initiation is not going to happen for NiP.
Well, again, the saving grace here is Ace. I mean, he just continually pushing out that bot lane. He actually did end up doing a fair amount of damage to that tier 3 tower, and also to Madden as well. Again, he just continues to send this Remnant out with the Shadow Blade. And we'll just do this over and over again. It's just a matter of whether Empire can find an opening. In fact, Ace may just find a kill here. He does Hurricane Pike up the hill. Madden, he has the Shrine, and he is forced to commit it as well. But this is just going to be the most frustrating thing for Empire.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Ace just not revealing himself either. Not giving them the opportunity to go for the real hero. Empire, if they really do want to make a big push, it feels like that man has to be down before they do it.
Certainly feels like NiP is putting a lot of their eggs in one basket here, just riding on the fact that Ace will grow big enough to carry them through into that high ground push sooner or later. I'm not too sure how to feel about that, as you know, the net worth has swung towards the way of Empire now. His impact has been, outside of just shoving waves in a bit, minimal. They're down to just tier 2s now, which isn't too bad, but they're just one bad team fight away from losing tier 2s now.
Oh, smoke on smoke action. King R, he does get spotted out, and it looks like he will get bursted down. At the very least, he does manage to snag the bounty room before he does. Now they found the Phoenix as well, but the rest of Empire are there and ready to help if necessary. They do pop the Aeon Disc on Madden. Can they dish out the damage? No, Dream, he'll jump in straight onto 33, doing a lot of damage with Saksa. He'll get in there with the BKB Black Hole. They've lost the Sand King anyway, and there's no follow-up damage there onto Dream. It looks like Saksa will end up losing his life as well, and perhaps they might find 33 once again, because he did end up buying back. He gets X. The Burrow Strike was there, but it's not going to matter. A dieback on 33. Farder and PPD still around the area right now. Decrepify will be there to keep PPD alive. Seiyu not throwing out the RP quite yet, just really wanting Ace on that Arc Warden though. Look at the damage Ace is dealing right now. He'll take care of the Magnus, and now Kodos as well, copying a lot just from the Remnant. Vada jumping back in, does get the Decrepify off onto Kodos. Boat will be there to help keep him alive. It shouldn't be enough. Aeon Disc though is procced on Fada, and here comes Dream. They'll get Kodos with Ace. The Dream will find the trade onto Fada. Now Madden jumps in with the Icarus dive, and it looks like that'll be it. Ace. Looks like he might find the another kill for his team, though he's relying on that Remnant and Dream. He goes straight after him. Saksa is there with the stun though. And actually Dream, he may have overextended right now. The Sunray not even reaching him. Saksa, can he deal the damage? The Spirit Vessel keeping him alive, and Dream 60 HP and walking away.
No way. That's really unfortunate for NiP. That would have been a massive kill that they desperately need at this point. It felt strange. Ace was, he kicked himself up to the cliff, but he didn't opt to chase anymore with his main hero. He just threw the Remnant out, and they just didn't manage to secure that kill. I guess it would have been a bit risky if he went in as well. There was a high possibility of him getting bursted down, but at the same time, it's a very, very big missed opportunity there. Although, looking at Ace now, he is pretty much 6-slotted, unless, he clears out that Midas for something else to help him out with damage, but we're starting to see the peak of Arc Warden, Mike.
Certainly are. And it's just that split push potential. The Dream now has a nullifier on the Troll. That is going to make things just a bit harder for this Arc Warden, assuming he does get caught out again by Dream. The game, though, is still relatively close. Like, net worth lead is there for Empire by 5k, but well, Dream, he actually jumped in. Nice Nightmare from PPD to hold him back, and it looks like NiP are not interested in engaging in this. They will just allow him to wake up again, and well, they'll have to go back and defend anyway, because Ace has been pushing the bot lane, Fada's been pushing the top lane. They don't really have the option to go through the mid lane at the moment, just because of that. They'll have to push those lanes out just a bit before they can actually try and get involved in the push again.
Yeah, we are definitely seeing the effect of Arc Warden at its peak, Mike. This is why you love to watch this hero, isn't it? That constant split push. Really, the big effect it has in the game is just slowing it down massively, due in part to the fact that you just can't apply pressure yourself.
You look at Ace bot lane again with that Remnant, doing a lot of damage to that tower. Procs Madden's Aeon Disc, and well, that tower's almost gone. The next Remnant that goes up that lane will probably be able to find it. Empire, though, they do stick around the mid lane. They still want to be able to apply that pressure and perhaps find a nice team fight for themselves. NiP is not giving them the space. They're just essentially buying themselves time right now. Of course, on a side note, Roshan is also up. Empire do evacuate that area, though. So they do just commit to pushing out the bot lane. Ace again going on the Phoenix. Aeon Disc not really available right now. That's a lot of damage. Madden, he's forced to pop the egg. In fact, he might go down even with the egg. Though no, the Remnant runs out of time.
Ooh, that was a massive amount of damage for Madden to feel really threatened and have to pop that egg. I don't think it's worthwhile sending your Phoenix to deal with that push coming out from the Arc Warden. I think you need to send a different hero, because Madden just cannot cop the damage anymore.
But he'll get jumped on, although there's a lot of NiP heroes there, and they might turn this one around. He will take care of the Remnant, though. Black Hole will come out just onto the Troll, but it's well worth it if they find the kill, and they do. Now Madden, he tried to jump in to help. He doesn't have the egg anyway. Meanwhile, RP was in the back. Boat will fly in as well, and they'll take out two with that boat, so Kodos really turning it around. Dream will buy back as well, and just come straight after Saksa. Great punishment there from Empire. They still are forced to buy back quite a few heroes, though. In fact, it was 2 from their end. So that is a positive there for NiP. But Empire can now set up for the Roshan attempt. NiP do not want to give this away for free. Skewer will not connect onto PPD. Looks like Vada will actually be able to find Seiyu, and the Roshan, still about half HP, will not go down quite yet. The Seiyu was forced to buy back throughout all that as well. And again, Dream will jump back into that Roshan pit. They have the buyback available on the Enigma, but there's no black hole anyway, so it's probably not worth buying back at this point. They may just have to give it away, although Vada, he'll jump in, but he does not get the Aegis, and that's going to cost him his life as well. Dream now, BKB's up against the Remnant of Ace. Where's Ace's Remnant going? Just running away, apparently. Meanwhile, PPD going to cop the boat, and will end up falling as well. And Empire, once again, in the driver's seat. Those are two heroes that they just killed with no buybacks available, John. It's going to be a 3v5 for the next almost 2 minutes.
Yeah, it's going to be a very hard time for NiP to hold this defense. This is Empire's opportunity to take out these outer towers now. Mid-tier 2 should be probably their top priority, I want to say, so they take a bit more control in this map. And they will eventually push that issue, I feel, especially with that double damage rune onto Dream. So pretty straightforward push coming out for Empire now. It's going to be a very, very hard defense for NiP.
Certainly is. The thing is, though, that Arc Warden is still pushing out all the other lanes. There's not even a creep wave here in the mid lane right now. Dream's just going through the backdoor protection, and will get it. And this is the thing, right? You've got two heroes with no buyback on the other side, but you can't actually capitalize that well. They are going to wait for that mid lane to push in, though that's a lot of damage on the troll right now, and he loses his Aegis. Oh no. Ace with the Remnant once again, just forcing them back. They can't push the mid tower now. They've got 5 heroes, but it's just so much damage that's coming out of this one man.
I was saying it's a hard defense, apparently not for Ace. Just dealing the damage he needs.
Yeah, no, apparently he didn't think so either. He's going to go straight for the Scythe of Vice, John. He's got almost 8k gold on the Arc Warden right now.
And that is the power of Arc Warden, Mike. It just really starts to get a bit wild toward that late game when he can just split push like mad, maximizes Midas twice over, and just really starts soaking all the farm. So far it has been paying off. For Ace, of course, he has been stemming the pressure back, managing to farm himself up quite a nice bit gold, and eventually work himself to a little bit more control. Once he has that available, yeah, there it is. He has his Scythe of Vice up, he sells the Midas, and I'm really not sure how you stop it now. If last time when Ace would initiate, you could still BKB outfit, this time around, start with that Hex and then the Orchid on top, the Bloodthorn on top. There's really no escape.
Certainly not. NiP, they will go for a smoke.
Oh, here we go. Dream.
My goodness, that's a lot of damage. He does have a cheese available, mind you. So he will survive regardless, but that's going to be real demoralizing. And now the rest of the heroes are here from NiP. They spotted out Kodos. Kodos, he actually runs the wrong way, not realizing, though NiP will not engage quite yet. .33 looking for that Burrow Strike opportunity, but will not get it. Looks like there might be a smoke here from the side of Empire now, and they will commit. There's a Refresher Orb actually available in Dream as well, so he's got double Battle Trance available on the Troll now. It's a lot of time to survive and a lot of damage at 33. Burrow Strike will be there on the Troll though. Egg in the background. This is not looking great already for the side of NiP, but they try and burst it down. Meanwhile, Dream, he already found 33. Now they're trying to go after King RD on that Lion. Madden, he will dive in. Who have they actually got there? It is going to be Saksa on that Enigma, and King R, he will lose his life. Saksa buys back. Still has the Black Hole available. Empire though, do they keep going? Vada will be the first to jump in. Decrepify is there. Refresh Orb is used. And the Black Hole Saksa! He missed it. The Fiend's Grip is there from PPD. And now Seiyu, he'll cancel that off. Meanwhile, the boat just being used to be able to survive on Kodo. Madden, meanwhile, will get nightmared up, and it looks like they have found the troll. He doesn't have mana for the battle trance right now. And Dream, he can only stand there and right-click. The Phoenix as well, being caught out thanks to that nightmare from PPD. And that's 3 heroes with no buybacks available. Saksa calling misclick.
Oh man, it looked rough for NiP when Saksa missed the black hole, but they didn't need it. Just rather unfortunate for Empire, but they lose 3 big heroes, really pivotal in their defense.
They found more. They found more. Kodos in the mid lane gets caught out. He has a buyback, but there's King R as well. That's going to be a full team wipe coming up from NiP. 1 hero left on the map for Empire. NiP surely just going to go straight after tier 4s once his tier 3 is down. This should just be the GG, but no, NiP, they'll go after the racks first. And yeah, there's the pings. Absolutely no time to waste. They know the buybacks aren't available any longer. With Ace hitting that hard on the Arc Warden. Unless we see a miracle come out of Kodos right now, it looks like it will be a 2-0 day. Though I'd love to see the Kunkka try to delay this. BKB is up. Goes after Ace there. Everyone else just focusing down that Ancient. Ace will get the Hex off as well, and that is going to be a dead Kunkka, and there's the GG call coming out. It looked great for Empire, and that was a really great performance from them in game number 2, John, but NiP, they just pull it back their way, and I don't want to repeat myself, but if you're going to give an MVP to anyone, it would have to be Ace. I mean, this man literally just kept them in the game this whole time.
I wouldn't disagree. Like, they had the patience, they had the faith in Ace. Just, you know, even if they lost a lot of ground, they knew that once that Arc Warden was ready with all the control he needed, no one could stand in his way. And NiP's patience does pay off on Ace. 34-33, 47 minutes in. Just a 6k net worth lead for NiP, but just one big fight is all it takes, Mike. And NiP does come out on top today, 2-0ing Empire.
Yeah, well, that one's going to hurt. I mean, Empire, again, was so close this time around to force it to a game number 3. Fantastic performance from them anyway, and I'm sure they'll have some great games coming up soon anyway. But the next series, John, will be with Trempax and Zyori, and that'll be Chaos